Welcome to the Ingress Insights podcast, hosted by PkmnTrainerJ. Ingress Insights is a podcast about the Niantic game Ingress. Listen each week for the latest news, updates and rumours. Let us know your thoughts by leaving a voice message or emailing us at the links in the show notes.
Additional intel available.
Hello agents and welcome to episode 83 of the Ingress Insights podcast. This week we'll be going over the recent anomaly results and what the score currently is, as well as a few things about Mish Day breaking, Toasty Day and a potential Niantic sale as well. Before I get into all of that, I'll just go through my gameplay for the past week. So for myself, I was in a new to me area, so I got a lot of new unique portal captures. I nominated quite a lot of stuff and I did the EMEA bounty blitz. So AEP wise, I'm now looking at 3,873,768 AP out of the 5 million I required to go to level 14 for the third time. I'm not really working on any particular badges at the moment. I've got enough scanners now to get my second Sunday medal for March once that rolls around. I made sure to back up some scanners after I failed to do so last time. But there's no medal I'm particularly aiming at. I could try maybe Spec Ops because I'm 50 out of 100 missions for that to get to gold. Also my kind of lower ranked ones on there, for example Illuminator for character MU, I'm aiming at silver. Be nice to get that gold. But if there's a particular medal you're aiming for or trying to get, do let me know. I'll be excited to hear how your Ingress gameplay is going as well. With that being covered off, I'm going to move into the Plus Alpha Anomaly results firstly, and then I'll go through the bounty blitz and other parts during the Plus Alpha section.
This is Jessica Jung, lead producer of Peridot, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
We have just had an XM Anomaly happen in Tucson in Arizona in the USA. So that was over this weekend and it ended about midnight my time, so hence why this recording is a little later than usual. The raw scores from the battle beacons for that were 328 points to Enlightened versus 134 to Resistance. So from the battle beacons, Enlightened got 66 points, Resist got 27 points. For shards, the raw score was 11 to Enlightened, being 2 unscored there, unfortunately 0 to Resistance. So the final score there was 93 points to Enlightened, 0 to Resistance. For covert caches, only 1 got claimed, and that was a season point bonus, so there was a common one claimed by the Resistance. And then for Goruk Stealth Ops, that was won by Enlightened at 4.2 points and 2.8 to Resistance. And Goruk Urban Ops is a little bit closer with 4 points to Enlightened, 3 to Resistance. So that then means the total score from that anomaly was 167.2 points to Enlightened, 33.8 points to Resistance. A little bit before the anomaly started, we had the EMEA Alpha Bounty Blitz. So that ended up being 43.8 points to Enlightened versus 56.2 to Resistance. So resisted more bounties there. So the bounty blitz had concluded. That meant the score was 343.6 points to Enlightened versus 275.4 points to Resistance. And obviously we had the anomalies I mentioned. So that means currently the score is 506.6 points to Enlightened versus 306.4 points to Resistance. So there's still a lot of points to come in the anomaly we've got in Nepal, and we've got the skirmishes and another bounty blitz as well to happen. So it's all still to play for at the moment, even though it seems like the Enlightened are streaming ahead. There's plenty of points to be made up on there. And then next I'm just going to run through the skirmish location we've got for the AMER region as well. This is our last lot of skirmishes for the Plus Alpha Anomaly series. So these are on the 15th of March, starting at 4 PM local time. We have 1 beacon skirmish in Champaign, Illinois in the USA. And then the rest of these are all shard skirmishes. So there's one in Buenos Aires, Argentina, Goiânia in Brazil, Coquimbo in Chile, Asunción in Paraguay, Orono in USA, Piura in Peru, Panama City in Panama, Norfolk in USA, Tampa, Florida, USA, Guadalajara, Mexico, Oklahoma City in Oklahoma, USA, and Victoria in the British Columbia in Canada. So that means we've all got hosting cities now for all 39 plus alpha skirmishes. And as I said, there's plenty of points to be won and the badge that you can get if you attend any of those skirmishes. So if you are able to attend those on the 15th of March at 4 PM local time, please do go out and do that and help out your faction to win the Anomaly series. During the Plus Alpha Anomaly in America, the Niantic team found out they got a load of stuff in the NL1331 van. So they are selling those off as an Ingress garage sale. And they're doing that from today 11 till 1 PM and Sunday 1 PM to 3 PM. So you can go and pick those up if you are in the area in the US. And it seems there's a few nice little bits of swag to pick up. Obviously there's Toast plushes, but there's things like NL1331 USA patches. I was looking through here, things from Magnus Reawakens, which is quite an old anomaly that was previously run, and just one saying general XM anomaly tags and lots of Niantic stickers, various bits. So if you're a swag collector, it'd be nice to pick those bits up. And then finally, we've had the next badge added to the store. So this is the Devra Bogdanovich 2025 bundle. Comes with obviously the Devra Bogdanovich 2025 medal, 5 kinetic capsules, rare kinetic capsules obviously, and 2 portal fracas. So that's the usual kind of stuff we get in these, and it's available for 30,800 CMU. It will drop off the store at some point, but then all the badges for this Anomaly series will come back at the end of the month for about a week. So don't worry if you miss out on them and you want to wait and buy them all at once, you can do that. That's about it now for the Plus Alpha and Anomaly news. So I'll move into some general Ingress news now.
This is Shimon, former community manager for the Witcher Monster Slayer, and you're listening to Ingress Insights.
First of all, I don't quite know how this happened, but on the 20th of February, the missions system broke in Ingress. So they put out a message saying the NIA is aware of the issue related to missions and is actively looking into which universe they fall into. We hope to return to our current timeline as soon as possible. Stay tuned. This was then resolved about an hour later, and they said agents, NIA operatives were able to restore missions to the present. So whether they were working on some kind of update to the mission system and it somehow broke, or they were doing something in the back end, I don't think missions really changed that much since their implementation, apart from when we could do extra missions during COVID. Extra mission slots added on there. I think you do 180 now off the top of my head. So yeah, it's very strange for that to be a thing that broke. So I'm hoping somewhere in the background they're updating or revamping the mission system, because that'd be nice. So on the 20th of February, Niantic shared a post about Toasty Day 2025. So they wrote, agents, get ready to raise a glass or a slice to National Toast Day. On February 27th, 2025, Ingress will be celebrating this toasty occasion with a loaf of a campaign. Here's what you can expect. Complete challenges to earn toast beacons. A list of simple bounties will be available for you to complete. Once completed, you will earn the coveted toast beacon as a reward. Purchase the Toast Day 2022 medal. For those who missed it out in 2022, the Toast Day medal will be available for purchase once again. Show your love for toast with this commemorative medal. So mark your calendars and get ready to celebrate Toasty Day with Ingress. There's quite a bit of history involving Toast and Ingress, but I won't get into it on this show. I might save that up for a future episode explaining the history of Toast and how that kind of came about and why we have a Toast plush in Ingress and Toast badges. But it sounds like this will be a fun little event. It says a list of simple bounties, so nothing too complicated, and then you get a Toast beacon, which is generally a premium item. If you do order a Toast plush from Niantic Supply when they're available, that does come with some Toast beacons attached with it, a code for those. I think that's how I got most of my Toast beacons that I've got. So yeah, sounds like a fun little event happening on the 27th, and you can be able to see that on your scanner now. It'll say it's coming up in campaigns and have a countdown. It seems like Niantic were on a roll on the 20th of February, because they also put up another news post saying about updating our Google Play Integrity API settings. So they said Google Play recently announced that a faster, more reliable and more private version of Google Play Integrity will become mandatory in May 2025, and that developers can opt into the new version now. Ingress uses a Play Integrity API to detect suspicious activity like bots and cheaters in our efforts to protect the Portal network. On Monday, February 24th, after the US Anomaly is concluded, we'll opt into the new Play Integrity API and in parallel, update our device integrity verdicts to check specifically for basic device integrity and device attributes. This means that Ingress will check the app is running on a device that passes basic system integrity checks. Our goal is to continue to protect the Portal network while also enabling more Android devices used by legitimate Ingress agents to access Ingress. This is something that I covered back in episode 27 to say that Ingress ups their integrity against Android cheaters, and that was where strong integrity was required for playing Ingress. This didn't sit well with everyone that was using Android because they wanted to root their devices, things that required basic integrity, that kind of thing. I don't know Android, but I know it annoyed a lot of players. So it seems they're now reverting back to basic integrity, and you'll be able to play on devices that may have not passed a strong check before, because Google are now updating their play integrity on their side. So if you had a device that got told it couldn't play Ingress because it didn't pass the strong integrity checks, you should now be able to play after Monday the 24th. So do keep an eye out, and if you want more information on the change that happened there, as I said, episode 27 of the Ingress Insights podcast covers all of that change that was previously done. This next piece of news I'm going to cover is just a rumour at the moment. There's no proper sources or anything for it that we can find, but it's been talked about a lot in the Ingress and wider Niantic games community, so I did want to cover it, and obviously it's the title of this podcast. On the 19th of February, Bloomberg posts an article to say Pokemon Go maker nears $3.5 billion deal to sell games unit. So they said Niantic Inc., the company behind the 2016 hit Pokemon Go, is in talks to sell its video game business Saudi Arabia-owned Scopely Inc., according to several people familiar with the discussions. A deal could be announced in the coming weeks. The price being discussed is about $3.5 billion according to one of the people. Any agreement would involve the Pokemon title as well as other mobile games, obviously including Ingress, according to the people, who asked not to be identified because the discussions are private. There's no assurance an agreement will be reached. The Pokemon Go game is a global phenomenon, blah blah blah, etc. on there. We know about the background of Niantic. I'm not reading through the whole bit of it, but I will get to the end where they say mobile game maker Scopely was acquired for $4.9 billion 2 years ago by Savvy Games. In 2024, Savvy Chief Executive Officer Brian Ward told Bloomberg News the company planned to add a genre-leading mobile title to its roster through Scopely, the tip of the spear for its mobile investment strategy. In August, Niantic signed the deal with Savvy to help it expand in Saudi Arabia, the UAE and Egypt. Savvy is part of the Saudi Public Investment Fund's larger effort to diversify its economy by investing in the video game industry. This article has been shared by Yahoo Finance and Pokemon Go Hub, various other news outlets, but it's not a news story, they've not added anything to it, they've just copied what Bloomberg have said. As I said, it's just a rumour at the moment. There was the thing ages back where there was a leak from Microsoft to say they were potentially looking at buying Niantic, and obviously nothing happened. Ingress isn't mentioned at all in the news article, it's all about Pokemon Go, get them more hits, so obviously that's what they include in there. I've played a handful of Scopely games, they're okay. I think Scopely know what they're doing when it comes to games, but probably not in the way that we would like as Ingress players and Niantic game players. As I mentioned, it's just a rumour, there's nothing that says about any of the people, it's just according to several people familiar with the discussions, so it may have zero basis at all, but it may be something to consider as Ingress changes, evolves, whether it will be sold off and how Scopely would manage it, whether things like Wayfarer would be included. Personally, I don't think it will happen because there's far too much other stuff, so you need agreement from the Pokemon Company International, probably Nintendo for things like Pikmin Bloom, Capcom for things like Monster Hunter. I think they've gone with Niantic for those games because they knew what they were doing, whereas Scopely may not be the best fit for Nintendo's games, Capcom's games, and then whatever other games we get from Niantic in the future. I know there was meant to be some more Nintendo titles coming, maybe they got scrapped when things got downsized and sold off and NBA World and Marvel closed down, so maybe those Nintendo titles aren't coming, but I'm sure I remember something saying 4 titles are coming and the first of those was Pikmin Bloom. and then nothing's been said since. But yeah, I just wanted to share it because it's being talked about a lot. I'll link to the Bloomberg post, well, a free version of the Bloomberg post so you can view it without having to pay Bloomberg. And then you can let me know any comments and thoughts you've got on the potential sale of Niantic's Games division. And then, just so we don't end on such a sour note, they've got obviously March coming up in the next couple of days. As you listen to this next podcast, you hear will be on the 2nd of March. So I want to run through what we've got coming up in March for Ingress, just as a reminder. So the 1st of March is first Saturday, and you can register there through Fev Games and see what events are going on in your area that you can join and get a tick on your first Saturday medal. The 1st of March is the Plus Alpha Skirmish in the EMEA region, and again you can join there and obtain the Plus Alpha Anomaly medal by joining one of the skirmish locations that I covered in an earlier episode. The 8th of March, the following week, is the APAC Plus Alpha Skirmish that you can again join, get the medal. It's a very skirmish heavy month for March. The 9th of March is second Sunday, so that's from 12 AM to 11:59 PM local time, and you can get a tick on your second Sunday medal by doing one of the campaigns there. So whether you're doing portal scans or missions or something else, you can get a tick on that and increase your medal. The 15th of March, the following weekend, brings us the Plus Alpha Skirmish for the AMER region. I just went through those locations. And again, you can join the Plus Alpha Anomaly medal by joining the skirmish at one of those locations. Then our final event for March is the XM Anomaly in Nepal in Italy. And that will be our final one for Plus Alpha, so we'll know who's won the series overall when we do reach that. Obviously, we do have the upcoming XM Anomalies for Plus Theta in May and June. So there's not any anomalies in April. You might get the skirmishes in April. We've not had anything announced for April and Q2 as yet, but hopefully we do get those soon. I'm also hoping personally that we get some update about the Ingress Player Ambassador program before the end of Q1, as well as obviously news about the Wayfarer Ambassadors, but I'll go through and just talk about the Wayfarer Ambassadors next in the Wayfarer news, because that's all the Ingress news I've got.
What's up? This is Smooth Guy O, and you listen to the Ingress Insight podcast.
For a small bit of Wayfarer related news, there's been no update yet on the new cohort of Wayfarer Ambassadors, so that may be into March now. Well, it'll be March next time I cover it anyway, even if they get announced tomorrow. So hopefully we do get an update shortly on that. There was, however, some Wayfarer news on the 20th of February. Niantic Tintina posted in the forums about the Wayfarer Progressive app launch. Just to be clear, this isn't the same as Wayfarer app that was available on Android and went away and still available on Tesla and iOS for however long. Quintino's message reads, "Hello Explorers, exciting news. We're thrilled to announce the launch of our new Wayfarer Progressive web app, PWA. This means you can enjoy a more accessible and app-like experience from your home screen. No iOS App Store or Google Play Store download required. What are the benefits of using our PWA? Instant access Wayfarer directly from your home screen in seconds, get access to your profile contributions from the shortcuts, like experience, get the look and feel of a native app." And they do link to detailed instructions how to add the progressive web app to your home screen. I've done it, it's nothing amazing for me personally, but I think if you were used to using apps and don't like the mobile interface you've got for how you're using Wayfarer, maybe it will be slightly better for you. It's just a case of basically adding a bookmark to your home screen and using it through that way, so you still get the general Wayfarer experience of all your contributions you can review, but it runs like it's an app rather than like it's a tab in Safari or whatever Android browsers use, Google Chrome. I don't know. It's been a while since I had an Android device, but whatever browsers they use, it acts like an app instead of a browser. So that's now launched. As I say, I'll link to that and how you can get that on there if you do fancy having the Wayfarer Progressive web app on your device. One last little bit of Wayfarer related news. The app that kind of replaced the Wayfarer app of Scanniverse had an AMA recently, and I will link to the full thing, but one of the questions there was any plans to work with Niantic Wayfarer. Their response was, "We share the Wayfarers community's passion for exploring and documenting the world. They're a vital part of our mission to scan the universe. While we've considered closer integration between Scanniverse and Wayfarer, We currently believe that maintaining separate apps allows us to tailor the experience to specific needs of each community. However, we're always looking for ways to connect the two platforms. For example, you can already include Scaniverse spot links within Wayfarer reports and appeals. The idea of anonymous contributions is something we've heard from the community, and we'll definitely keep it in mind as we plan future features. I don't use the Scaniverse app a whole lot, but I will link to the AMA and you can read through all the questions that got asked and answered on there. But I just want to highlight that one regarding Wayfarer. That's all the news I really got for this week, so I'll move on now to get things wrapped up.
Hi, this is HP Bulola, and you're listening to the Ingress Insights podcast.
Thanks all for listening to another episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. Next time around, we should have had details for the Plus Alpha Shard Skirmish and Beacon Skirmish in EMEA. That should have wrapped up, so we'll go through the results for that and see how that's changed the overall score for the Plus Alpha Anomaly series. Saturday will also happen. I don't think I'll be doing it for March, but it will have happened, so some people will be able to increase their first Saturday tick. I'm also hoping to get a new Wayfarer challenge announced for March, because I'd like to get another tick on my OPR Live badge and generally get one per quarter, so hopefully I have one in March that comes around. There is, of course, our interview with Erin Fitzgerald that will be coming up in March, and she'll go through community questions and questions I've got for her about playing Cara Campbell, Ingress, and all the other things that she's done. And then finally, just a reminder, I'm trying a thing with the email newsletter, so you can sign up for that using the links in the show notes. And there's also special episodes dropping at the end of every month, so there'll be one on the 28th of February on the Friday, so that'll be a couple of days before the regular episode, and you can listen to that and learn all about kinetic capsules. In the email newsletter, I do share thoughts about what I'm kind of planning for future special episodes like that. So I'm planning probably to do one about COVID and how that changed things for Ingress, and just getting everything together for that, all the right links and things to go through, so I definitely know what I'm talking about. That always helps. If you have any other ideas about episodes you want me to do or things you want to hear about or anything I've missed, do let me know. You can contact us via all the usual social channels that come at the end of the outro. But thank you once again, agents, for listening. Hope you all have a great Sunday. Happy hacking. Thank you, agents, for listening to the latest episode of the Ingress Insights podcast. If you'd like to follow us on social media, you can do that on a few channels. So on Threads under the name ingress.insights, on Instagram under the name ingress.insights as well. Twitter/X, which posts episodes of the podcast, is under Ingress Insights, no dot in that one. And you can also watch these episodes on YouTube under Ingress Insights Podcast. You can send us a voice message by visiting the podcaster's Spotify page. And finally, you can buy Ingress Insights merch, such as mugs, pins, t-shirts, by going to epublic.com/user/ingress-insights. And on there, you'll see all the designs that we've got listed at the moment. There are some new ones that will be coming up at some point soon. But you can buy your Ingress Insights mug, hats, t-shirts, tote bags, anything like that you want. Thank you again for listening. Hope you tune in next week. If you do like the show, please do rate it on the podcast service you're listening to. I look forward to speaking with you all about Ingress again.
Intel package transferred.